What's up guys, Dr. Typo here, playing some Titanfall, and what I got for you guys today is what I believe to be the best Titan loadouts. Now I already did a video that covers what I think are the best pilot loadouts. You can find that here. So this video is just going to focus on, what I think are the best Titan loadouts, because there are quite a few, customization options. And so I think that you should know what I believe anyways is to be the best. Now, first of all, one thing you're definitely not going to want to do is use the Strider. And that is because the Strider is so squishy that he just can't take any of the hits that the Atlas or the Ogre can. And as fun as it is using the dash core and being able to dash around the map, at very high speeds and just being able to get away or get to where you're going pretty quick, it's just not as useful as the damage core or the shield core. And with that being said, the weapons that you're pretty well going to be using the whole time is going to be the 40mm cannon and the arc cannon. Now, you start with the 40mm cannon, which is, a good thing and a bad thing. You really won't need to work that hard to get, the best weapon that you're going to be using. And that's because the 40mm is very precise and very powerful. It has a little bit of splash damage to it, so you're capable of killing pilots with relative ease, even if they're, not in Titans, or if they're hiding in a building or something like that. You can still kind of get in there and take them out. And when it comes to my tactical ability and ordnance, my two favorites, my personal favorites anyways, are the electric smoke and the cluster missile. However, you can definitely use the rocket salvo or the multi-target or even the vortex shield, and you can still do very well. The only disadvantage to using the vortex shield, though, is that good players are not going to shoot at it. Instead, they're going to see it come up and they're going to stop shooting, and so it's almost like you're wasting a tactical ability when all you manage to catch in it is a couple rounds from the Gatling gun, or even just a couple 40mm rounds. It just really isn't that worth it. The electric smoke, however, has the ability to actually seep into buildings, so not only is it going to be able to kill players who are hiding on the first floor of buildings, as long as you can drop the smoke and get it in there, you're going to be able to kill the players. You'll be able to kill massive amounts of grunts and specters with it. It also does some great Titan damage if, any players or even auto Titans are dumb enough to stay in the smoke for an extended period of time. It's going to do a good chunk of damage with relative ease. And you can also drop the smoke and use it to get away, kind of like an octopus does. He spits out the ink and then he swims away. Instead, you spit out the smoke and then you dash away. And the pilot's left wondering where you went, and then you show up behind him and hit him with a cluster bomb. And the reason the cluster bomb, anyways, is probably my favorite of the ordnance all the ordnance that you get. The cluster bomb is my favorite. I think it beats the multi-target missile and it beats the rocket salvo, simply because you can use it to clear out rooms pretty easy. It does good AoE damage. It does kind of fall short, in the fact that it's kind of like the vortex shield. Smart players are going to see all the explosions happening all around them and they're going to dash away from it, and so you're really not going to do that much damage. It does, however, do wonderful for clearing out rooms and buildings, and if there are a bunch of Titans or even a bunch of grunts or something grouped up and you just want to do a lot of damage or kill them really quick, then you can shoot the cluster missile, fire and forget. And that's also one of the other benefits to it, is that it does not require a lock-on. When you're in a Titan, you are notified when something is locking onto you, and so it becomes much easier for you to dodge it in some way, shape, or form, whether you're going to dash out of the way right before it hits you or just get behind a building and break the lock. It is very easy to, dodge lock-ons when you are in a Titan. And now the other primary Titan weapon that you might end up seeing a lot of is more than likely going to be the arc cannon, and that is because it has the capability to deal a good chunk of damage and to multiple sources. So if there's a couple Titans grouped together and you hit them with the arc cannon, it's essentially like a chain lightning. It's going to hit the first guy and then it's going to jump to another guy, and as long as there's more guys close, it's going to jump to them too. Now, unfortunately, it is kind of a hit and miss weapon. You can charge the weapon all the way up, and if you miss your shot, you're kind of screwed. as compared to the 40mm where you're going to be able to continuously get shots on the target. And, you know, they're going to be in the critical spots too. It's really easy to hit guys in the head, hit Titans in the head and in the back, whatever, their weak spots. It's really easy to do that with the 40mm as compared to many of the other weapons, except for the Gatling gun or the whatever it is, the precision chain gun. I can't remember what it's called. it's really not one of the weapons that you're going to end up using. Instead, trust me when I say stick to the 40mm. Now you can kind of toy around, you know, with a lot of the ordnance and a lot of the tactical abilities a little bit, and you might be able to, you know, find some things that work better for you instead of the cluster bomb and the electric smoke. However, those are definitely my favorites. But regardless, I really suggest that you use the 40mm. Keep using the 40mm. It is definitely the best Titan weapon. Like I said earlier, it is precise, it is powerful, and it is just going to be able to put out more damage faster and more efficiently than any of the other weapons. Unless, of course, all you're trying to do is kill AI, then you might find yourself using the arc cannon more than anything else, simply because it's going to excel at killing groups of soldiers that are, you know, stuck together inside of rooms and around enemy Titans. It's going to do good for, you know, keeping you at the top of the list, and in attrition, you're definitely going to be helpful to your teammates when you're averaging 40 creep kills every game. And now one thing I really do like about the Ogre Titan, though, is that he definitely excels at taking damage. One thing you can do with that shield core is that as soon as your shields are just about to deplete, or they are depleted, you can activate it, and then it will recharge your shields completely. And the shield that you get from the shield core is actually much stronger than the shield that you normally have. And so you're going to really agitate your enemies when they lower your shield. And you're an Ogre, by the way, so you have heavy shields and heavy armor plating already. So when they finally lower your shields down and they're starting to work on your armor, and then you manage to just magically refill your shields, and now your shields are stronger than they were before, you're going to be something to deal with on the battlefield. But the damage core of the Atlas is still very nice to have. It's going to allow you, you know, to output much more damage than any of the other Titans. You're going to be killing Titans faster than anyone else, and it's just really good to be doing. So of all the things you're going to do, the biggest things that you want is don't use the Strider Titan ever. He's very weak, very squishy. You're going to die a lot. Instead, use the Atlas or the Ogre. Don't use any of the other weapons except for the 40mm or the arc cannon, depending on what you're trying to do. And when it comes to your tactical ability and your ordnance, you can kind of mix and match to see what works best for you. But I really suggest using the electric smoke over the vortex shield, simply because it is more useful, especially in close quarters combat. You're going to be able to evade your enemies easier, and you're going to be able to mess up a whole bunch of Titans and pilots and grunts and specters and whatever else there is to kill on the battlefield. If it's in the cloud of smoke, it's going to die. Now, as long as you do at least those first two things, you will definitely see an increase in your survivability in a Titan and your damage output, your, you know, everything. You're going to see that your performance as a Titan goes up a lot. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Take two and call me in the morning.